Hello, Earth family. This is your Empath energy update for June 6th through the 12th. My name is Rena Yassiri of InsideJobHealing.com. I am a healer, spiritual mindset coach, restorative yoga teacher, and health coach. So, welcome. I just want to share that it's been a huge transformation week for a lot of us. We just had the eclipse, and correction, I said that the eclipse was in Scorpio last video. I want to correct that. The eclipse actually happened in Capricorn, and it was a lunar partial eclipse. And to be honest with you, I feel like this has been the year of Capricorn, and Brian Coulter agrees with me. He's an amazing astrologer. You can find him on YouTube. He says that, that Capricorn actually affects the African American community, and this has been a huge year for people standing up, Black Lives Matter, standing up for their rights, and demanding equality, right? And equality is a good thing no matter where you are on the political spectrum. We want to be equal regardless of our race, our gender, sexual orientation, or spiritual beliefs. Okay, so the eclipse in Capricorn. Capricorn is one of those signs that helps us with systems and societal, structures and things like that. So we've been, rethinking a lot of those, right? Some people have, think that they should defund the police. Again, we all are entitled to our own opinion, but we're looking at different structures. We're looking at the prison system. We're looking at police training and the use of neck holds and things like that. So we're really thinking a lot of systems. Also economically, a lot of small businesses are suffering. So there has to be a give. We need to kind of examine our existing systems and what isn't working in order to create new systems moving forward for the future. So that also goes to our personal life, not just governments, and what we're experiencing, societally, but a lot of people are rethinking their relationships and really thinking about the structures, in their life. Like, some of the women that I know are leaving their partnerships because they don't feel seen and heard. They don't feel like they're being treated, fairly. Some of them are feeling that, they're in abusive relationships. But unfortunately for women, a lot of women find themselves where, they either don't have jobs or they don't have a strong income. So they feel like they need to rely on their partners for security and stability. And so it's really hard to leave a situation like that and start over on your own. But that's what Capricorn's about. It's like, okay, what new paradigms, what new structures are going to create for yourself? And that requires a tremendous amount of courage. So I applaud those that are leaving relationships that don't serve them, starting over, starting from scratch, because they don't want to continue these dynamics and patterns in their relationships for the next 35 years, aka, we've been talking about this for a while, the Saturn and Pluto conjunction. We talked about it really kicking off in January 2020, and we said that by July, we're going to be closing the door to these old patterns and these new, and inviting the new paradigms in. However, what we haven't been really talking about is how scary that is, how scary to leave what you know, right? The devil you know is better than the devil that you don't know, and a lot of us think that way. But honestly, it's terrifying for people because that's what faith is stepping onto the ladder and not seeing the step, right? That's what faith is knowing that you are held, that you're supported, by these, universal's forces, right? And that we live in an abundant universe and that we're all taken care of. But a lot of us don't believe that. The ego thinks it has to do it on its own. Well, how am I going to get a new house or apartment? Or how am I going to get a new job? Or how am I going to get cash flow when all these people have been laid off? Or, am I eligible for unemployment and different, support systems, right? Or things like that. So a lot of us right now are in this period of uncertainty. Maybe you're not in the camp where you left your partner and you need to start over, and maybe you're not in that camp, but maybe you're having a career transition, right? Like, for me, I'm starting to interview people, right, for my Lifestyle Reset and Thrive program. I haven't really done that before, right? Like, I'm just starting to get comfortable with the video medium of creating the energy updates. That was a huge step because a lot of us spiritual people are afraid to be seen, right? And share our gifts with the world because we've been silenced in other lifetimes, right? So it's scary for people to get on video, but a lot of people are making that transition and, doing videos, right? So I am a generator in the human design model. So I respond. So I started started creating these videos during COVID-19, right? As a response in order to assure people like, hey, everything's going to be okay. This is what's happening in the universe, astrologically, energetically. We're all going to be good. We're all in this together. You know, all of us are stepping into the fear of the unknown. All of us are creating this new normal, and we can do this, right? So that's the reason I shared the videos. However, that was uncomfortable initially, right? Because it was something new. So a lot of us, anytime we do something new, we've never done before, and that's what Spirit's inviting us to do right now. So I want to acknowledge for a moment, you know, how brave and courageous it is for you guys that are really stepping into it. Because it's scary, right? Anything new, any change, it's terrifying. So acknowledge the small wins, be proud of yourself. You don't have to be perfect, right? Explore things, research, figure out how to do things that are new to you, and you don't have to be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes, right? So that's really important. So yeah, it feels very empowering to me. Like I was like, okay, I did an interview with the beautiful Lana Raymer this morning. It went amazing. It's for our self-care module that we're embarking on, you know, in a few weeks in the Lifestyle Reset and Thrive, you know, and I'm going to be interviewing all these amazing guest experts, right? So if you want to join our program, it's evergreen. I invite you to reach out to me and message me, and I'd love to tell you all about it. But this is something new, right? But my North Node, right, which is where I'm headed, in my evolution on my chart is, you know, is collaboration. It's Libra. It's a sign of relationships, right? And whereas my South Node was like that warrior Aries energy, right? Where I was like, okay, I'm going to do it on my own. And so very, very much so. I was just kind of like self-sufficient. I made sure that I could take care of myself. It was very hard for me to ask for help. And so I'm transitioning into this very new environment and paradigm where I'm like, yes, I want to connect with others. I want to showcase their message. I want to support and uplift others. I want to collaborate, you know, and especially with, we talked about this, Gemini being in Rahu, another way of saying that is we've just switched nodes, right? So the moon has the North Node and South Node. So the North Node is Rahu, right? And so it's in Gemini, and then the South Node is in Sagittarius, right? So Sagittarius and the South Node is like energy we know, that we're familiar with. Whereas the North Node is like new energies that we're tapping into. So Gemini, obviously the sign of, you know, communication and, you know, technology and online learning and all that good stuff. So this is the perfect time, like I said, for us to be doing videos, for us to be learning online and things like that, and expanding our horizons and raising our consciousness. So another theme that we're experiencing right now as a collective is leveling up our consciousness, right? So we've been hit by 6 eclipses, right? So that's a lot for 1 year. and then we have, you know, the Pluto-Saturn conjunction, and then we're topping off at the end of the year with the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction. So this 2020, you know, and with the epidemic and the risings and the, you know, all these things that are happening, and this rebellious energy and this anger energy in Aries, with Mars being in its home planet, a lot of them are in their home planet, like Neptune's retrograde, but it's in its home planet of Pisces. So it's really about leveling up our consciousness in order to step into a new collective paradigm, okay? So this isn't just for those of us that have done the inner work. In fact, to be honest with you, those of us that have done the inner work, this lunar eclipse that just happened July 4th and 5th, 2020, you know, is in Capricorn, and it was a full moon, right? So full moon's about letting go. It's also about manifestation, right? And so those of us that have been doing the inner work, that have been putting the good karma out there for the last few years and things like that, and we've been moving towards our dreams. Neptune's about dreams and spirituality. So it's all about, like, we've been putting in the work, and then we've just felt like a little bit stuck where there's been some hurdles and some blocks where we couldn't overcome them because of our old karma and our old patterns for the past 35 years, right? AKA Saturn-Pluto conjunction. Well, now we have an opportunity to let go of that karma, right? So I recommend watching Astro Wonder Girl. She talks about that, letting go. It's like almost like washing away of old karma and starting new karma. So for those of us that haven't done the inner work and still need to kind of dive in, I highly recommend that you come see, you know, a healer like myself and spiritual mindset coach, where we can help you heal the past in order for you to step into your new paradigm and your future in an empowered state, where you're not coming from a state of victimhood and fear, and you're really stepping into your power. So there's a lot of inner work that needs to be done. And so now we have a couple of camps. So hit me up, tell me which camp you are. Do you think that you've been doing the inner work? There's no shame in if you haven't, but do you think you've been doing the inner work and you're starting to receive, I guess you've been planting the seeds and you're starting to receive the fruits of your labor, where you're starting to manifest things, where things are moving in a different direction, where your dreams are starting to come true, where you're really cementing these new relationship and career dynamics and things like that? Or are you someone who is getting really hard hit karmically, right? Your relationships are falling apart, or you're leaving your partner, you're starting a new life, you feel like you've been just kind of hanging on to that false sense of security and hanging on to that false sense of, control, and feel like now you're like, oh my gosh, this is so scary, everything's changing, I have no control, I don't feel safe, I'm scared, can I really do this? So just hit me up on which one you are, because definitely I feel like those of us that have done the work, we're here to support you until you get through all those things and let go of the past and really bring your body to present and step into the new paradigm, right? Okay, so let's talk about the 5 planets in retrograde. So luckily Venus has gone direct. So happy about that recently, June 25th. So it's not one of them. So it's, so definitely, hopefully your relationships are doing a little better. But let's talk about that. So Mercury retrograde affecting communication technology, right? I know that I had technical difficulties this morning with technology. So hopefully you're being patient with that. That started June 18th. It ends on July 12th. Okay. So be patient, hang in there. All right. So what other planets retrograde? We have Pluto retrograde. That's the planet of transformation and evolution, right? So it went retrograde back in April 25th, and it ends October 5th, right? What else? We have the third planet that's in retrograde is Saturn retrograde. Saturn's a tough planet. It's like, tough love, the school of hard knocks, right? Hard lessons, right? Dismantling power systems, redefining new systems of societal structures. We've been going through all of that, and it's painful, right? It's painful for us personally. It's painful for us as a collective, but it has to be done, right? So the only way is through. You can't avoid it. And so that became retrograde May 11th, and that ends September 29th, okay? And then we have Jupiter in retrograde. That's the planet. I love Jupiter. It's like the good luck planet. It's amazing. It's really great in your second house, which is your money house. Anyway, so Jupiter is all about expansion and growth and spiritual self-care, right? So that started going retrograde May 14th, and that retrograde ends September 12th. All right, so Neptune has gone retrograde. It started June 23rd, and it ends November 20th. So pretty much to the end of the year, we're going to be grappling with coulda, shoulda, woulda questions, questions about truth versus illusion. We might be second guessing ourselves. So just stay positive. Don't feed any energy to those kind of negative thought patterns and things like that. They don't serve you. Okay, so I'm going to just pull a card for us right here from the Flower of Life deck, which is amazing. So let me just do that really quickly to wrap up, since we have a couple of minutes left. I infuse my energy into the deck, and I'm shoveling it, kind of closing my eyes just so I can get into my intuitive. Yes, this is the card that's meant for the collective, so feel free to do the same thing when you're doing your card pull, to actually just close your eyes, go within, and intuitively choose the card. All right. Oh, God, Goddess. Okay, so that's the card we pulled, God, Goddess. Okay. So the God and the Goddess are not separate from you. Their stories enlighten you, describing the dance of the creative male and female forces within each and every person. So that's that yin and yang balance that I talk about all the time. It's the core foundation of my work in balancing your chakras. You are part of the source, the cosmic heart of all, a willing participant in the eternal cosmic love affair between the physical and non-physical, God and Goddess, matter and spirit. Allow God, Goddess energy to enter your world. Softly and gently close your eyes. Imagine yourself floating in a space of black velvety matrix. All around you is shimmering, twinkling gold and silver lights. Float in this wondrous place of stillness and silence. Breathe in silence through the stillness and hear the whispers flowing from your heart. Rest here, embraced by your soul, the essence of you. Breathe in love, feel it illuminating and warming every corner of your being. Rest here in the safe arms of all. When you are ready, open your eyes and feel into your day. All right, namaste everybody. Rena with InsideJobHealing.com. Please share this video, invite your friends to subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. I love you lots. Inside Job Healing. Take care of yourself.